Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the best protection in life comes from saying nothing at all. Silence in a world that's constantly pushing us to speak, to share, to react, can be your greatest shield. Not all battles need to be fought with words. Not every comment requires a response. Not every attack needs to be met with a defense. There's power in restraint, in knowing when to hold your tongue. In silence, you allow the situation to reveal its true nature. You create space for clarity and avoid unnecessary conflict. When you speak, your words carry weight. They can lift you up or bring you down. But when you stay silent, you reserve your energy for what truly matters. In today's world, we're surrounded by noise. Opinions are thrown at us from all directions. People will try to provoke, manipulate, or criticize. But the wise know when to step back, to let the noise fade, and to hold on to their peace. By choosing silence, you protect your thoughts, your energy, and your peace of mind. The less you react to the noise around you, the more you protect your emotional and mental state. So I urge you today, don't feel the need to comment on everything. Don't jump into every debate. Don't react to every slight. Your silence is a tool of wisdom, discipline, and protection. Let your actions speak louder than words, and let your peace be the loudest message you send. Silence is a tool that takes practice. If you learn to control your tongue, you gain control over your emotions and reactions. It's not about what others say or do, it's about how you respond. In this world of constant communication, don't feel the pressure to weigh in on every conversation. Not every moment requires your input. Sometimes less is more. Every word you speak has consequences, whether positive or negative. Silence is the safest place to be when you don't have anything constructive to add. By remaining silent, you give yourself the space to reflect and gain clarity. Time will often reveal the truth, and you don't need to rush into every situation. Conflict and drama are a part of life, but you don't need to invite them in. Silence keeps your mind and soul in a place of peace and balance. It takes strength to stay silent in the face of provocation. It takes discipline to not let emotions dictate your actions. Silence is a sign of inner power, not weakness. Words can be misinterpreted, but your actions will always speak clearly. Protect yourself by focusing on doing, not just talking. Not every disagreement is worth your time and energy. Silence allows you to discern which battles are worth engaging in and which ones are better left behind. What others think of you is often shaped not by your words, but by your character. Silence can give you the space to live your values rather than trying to explain them. In situations where words would only escalate the problem, walking away or staying silent is the wisest option. Protecting yourself means knowing when to disengage. Mastering the art of restraint is one of the most powerful skills you can develop in life. You see, restraint is not about weakness or being passive. It's about understanding that not every situation demands your reaction. Far too often, we fall into the trap of speaking or acting impulsively without taking a moment to reflect. The key to mastering restraint is recognizing that the power to control your response is yours and yours alone. Think about it. Every time you refrain from reacting, you are in control. The ability to stay calm, to not rush into a response, allows you to think more clearly, make better decisions, and most importantly, protect your peace. When you resist the urge to speak hastily, you create a space where you can choose how to act. And this is not just about what you say, it's about how you say it and when. Timing matters more than many realize. Restraint means understanding that sometimes saying nothing is the most powerful statement you can make. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need to justify yourself. By choosing silence, you give yourself the opportunity to observe the situation fully and decide whether your words are truly necessary or if it's best to remain quiet and let things unfold. This is where wisdom comes into play. Wisdom isn't always about having the right answer immediately. Often, it's about knowing when to wait and let things reveal themselves. The ability to exercise restraint also keeps your energy in check. Every word spoken, every reaction takes energy. But when you hold back, you conserve that energy for things that really matter. In a world filled with distractions, where everyone wants to be heard, the person who knows when to stay silent stands out. You can't control others, but you can control your response. The art of restraint is not just about holding back words, it's about holding back the part of you that wants to react impulsively. When you learn to do this, you become a force to be reckoned with. Mastering restraint is the foundation of personal power. It's about knowing that your peace, your focus, and your future are more important than winning every argument or responding to every comment. It's about building the discipline to wait, think, and choose your words carefully. Restraint isn't just a skill, it's a lifestyle. And those who practice it are not only protecting themselves, but they're also creating a life that's guided by purpose and not reaction. We live in a world where it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of constant activity. Everyone is always talking, always sharing, always involved in something. The temptation to jump into every conversation, to respond to every situation is ever present. But let me tell you something, not every situation is yours to engage with. Not every battle is yours to fight. Avoiding the trap of overengagement is a discipline, and it's one that can free you from distractions, saving your time and energy for the things that truly matter. When you overengage, you spread yourself too thin. You dilute your focus and your impact. The truth is, not every opinion, not every issue, and not every person needs your attention. When you step into every conversation, you risk losing sight of your own priorities. The more you involve yourself in everything, the less energy you have for the important areas of your life, your personal growth, your career, your relationships, and your health. This is where true self-discipline comes in. It's the ability to step back and assess whether something is worth your time or if it's simply a distraction. Ask yourself, is this going to help me grow? Will this conversation move me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, then it's time to hold back. By doing this, you avoid wasting energy on things that don't serve you and instead focus on what truly contributes to your success. Overengagement often leads to unnecessary stress. People will pull you in all directions, demanding your attention and time. But the truth is, the more you say yes to everything, the less control you have over your own life. It's not selfish to decline invitations or to not get involved in every situation. It's wise. You're simply protecting your most valuable asset, your time. You have to guard it carefully, because once it's gone forever. When you avoid the trap of overengagement, you create space for clarity. You stop getting caught up in the noise of the world and give yourself the chance to focus on what's important. You start to see things with a clear perspective, free from the clutter of distractions. The people who master this art know that their time is limited, and they make sure it's spent wisely. They don't waste time on trivial matters, and because of that, they end up achieving more than those who spread themselves too thin. By choosing where you invest your time and energy, you make room for the things that bring real value to your life. You focus on the relationships that matter, the opportunities that align with your vision, and the growth that supports your long-term goals. It's not about being busy, it's about being effective. Avoiding overengagement is a powerful way to protect your peace, maintain focus, and ensure that you're building the life you want, not just reacting to what others throw your way. Words have power. They can lift you up or pull you down. They can build bridges, but they can also burn them. Every time you speak, you are either building or destroying, and that's something you must never forget. Words can bind you. Once they're spoken, they can't be taken back. You can apologize, you can try to explain, but the effect those words have will remain. This is why it's so important to choose your words wisely. The words you speak reflect your mindset, your beliefs, and your values. When you speak in anger, frustration, or fear, those emotions are transferred through your words, creating an impact that can last far longer than you expect. You may think that a quick remark or a passing comment won't have much significance, but the truth is, they can tie you to a situation or a person in ways you can't easily untangle. The wrong words at the wrong time can lock you into a cycle of regret, resentment, and even conflict. Think about how often people get into trouble because of things they've said in haste. They open their mouths in the heat of the moment, and before they know it, they've said something they didn't mean or couldn't take back. Words, once spoken, can become chains that bind you to the consequences of your actions. This is why the ability to control your speech is so crucial. It's not about being perfect with your words, it's about being intentional. When you're careful with your words, you create freedom for yourself. You avoid unnecessary conflict, misunderstandings, and regrets. You avoid getting tied down to situations or people that don't serve you. Instead, you keep your energy focused on what matters most and protect your peace. Words can either lock you into a negative cycle or free you to create the future you want. The key to freedom, then, is discipline. When you discipline yourself to speak with thoughtfulness and purpose, you protect yourself from the consequences of careless words. You create space for better relationships, better opportunities, and better outcomes. This doesn't mean you should never speak your mind. It means that you should be strategic about it. Speak with intention. Speak with clarity. And speak in a way that aligns with your values and vision. It's not just the words you speak to others that can bind you either. The words you speak to yourself have an even greater impact. The self-talk you engage in can either empower or restrict you. Negative, limiting beliefs about yourself will hold you back just as much as any careless words spoken to others. If you want to break free from the binds of negative thoughts, you must start by choosing your words, both spoken and internal, carefully and with purpose. Words are powerful. They can build a life of freedom and opportunity, or they can tie you to a past of regret and limitation. The choice is yours. Every time you open your mouth, remember you are either building or binding yourself. So choose your words wisely, because once they're spoken, they can shape the course of your life. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, yet it's the one we often take for granted. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of daily life, always pushing for more, always striving for the next thing, never fully appreciating the gift of time. But let me tell you something, if you learn to make time your ally, you'll find that many of the pressures and challenges you face begin to ease. Time is not an enemy. It's a tool, a partner, if you know how to use it. Too many people are in a hurry. They think that the faster they move, the more they'll accomplish. But what they don't realize is that rushing through life only leads to mistakes, missed opportunities, and unnecessary stress. Time has a way of revealing things, of helping you gain perspective. If you allow it, time will give you the clarity you need to make better decisions. It will help you see patterns, understand situations, and determine the best course of action. This doesn't mean you should be passive, waiting for things to happen on their own. What it means is that you need to be patient. You don't have to force everything to happen today. Many of the best things in life take time to unfold. Success doesn't happen overnight, and neither do the results that matter most. Whether it's building a career or a relationship or personal growth, time will work in your favor if you let it. One of the greatest mistakes people make is to rush their progress. They want everything now. But time has a way of working things out if you let it. The person who is patient, who understands that success is a long-term game, has an advantage over the person who is constantly chasing after instant gratification. Time doesn't hurry. It moves at its own pace. And if you can learn to respect that, you'll be able to make better decisions and avoid the pitfalls that come from impatience. Let time be your ally by giving it space to show you what's truly important. When you don't rush, you open yourself up to better insights, better ideas, and better outcomes. The key is to focus on the long-term picture. While it's important to take action today, it's equally important to recognize that progress is a journey. Time will reveal the path if you trust the process. Time also helps you build resilience. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to get discouraged, but if you let time do its work, you'll begin to see that setbacks are often just setups for future success. Every challenge, every mistake is an opportunity for growth if you give it enough time to teach you what you need to know. The person who understands the value of time isn't discouraged by failure. They know that failure is simply part of the process, part of the journey. By allowing time to be your ally, you stop fighting against the natural flow of life. You start to play the long game. You stop expecting immediate results and instead focus on steady progress. You focus on building habits, developing skills, and strengthening relationships. And over time, those little improvements compound, leading to extraordinary results. In the end, it's not about trying to control time, it's about learning to work with it. When you make time your ally, you stop trying to rush things. You let things unfold as they will, trusting that with patience, consistency, and focus, you will eventually reach your destination. Time is your partner in success, and when you use it wisely, it will help you create the life you've always dreamed of. In life, one of the greatest treasures you can have is peace. It's easy to overlook because it's quiet, subtle, and doesn't demand attention the way chaos or conflict does. But once you lose it, you realize just how invaluable peace truly is. Protecting your peace should be one of your top priorities, because without it, everything else in your life, your relationships, your work, your health suffers. Peace isn't something that just happens. It's something you must actively guard. You have to set boundaries around it, make choices that protect it, and never allow the noise of the world to drown it out. Life will constantly throw challenges your way. People will try to provoke you, situations will push your buttons, and circumstances will try to steal your focus. But the person who understands the value of peace knows that these disruptions are temporary, and that true peace is something worth defending. The first step in guarding your peace is recognizing that not everything requires a reaction. In a world where everyone has an opinion and everyone wants to be heard, you don't have to comment on everything. You don't have to respond to every provocation. The ability to walk away from conflict, to stay calm in the face of chaos, is one of the most powerful ways to protect your peace. When you engage in unnecessary arguments or stress over things that don't serve you, you're giving away your energy, your focus, and your peace. One of the most destructive things you can do is allow negativity to consume you. Negative people, Negative thoughts, negative situations, these are the things that will chip away at your peace if you let them. The key is to recognize these forces early and remove yourself from them. Guard your peace by choosing to stay away from those who drag you down, from environments that breed negativity, and from conversations that lead nowhere. Protecting your peace is about being discerning with where you invest your time and energy. Guarding your peace also means taking control of your mind. The thoughts you entertain play a major role in your inner peace. If you constantly feed yourself negativity, whether it's through the news, social media, or the company you keep, you're setting yourself up for a life filled with anxiety, stress, and unrest. But when you choose to feed your mind with positivity, with thoughts of growth, gratitude, and opportunity, you create a strong foundation for peace. The more you train your mind to focus on what's good, the less room there is for worry, fear, or doubt to take root. Your environment plays a huge role in your peace as well. If you allow clutter, noise, or chaos to dominate your surroundings, it will be difficult to maintain inner peace. Create an environment that nurtures your well-being. Whether it's your physical space or your emotional space, protect it by keeping it clean, organized, and filled with things that bring you joy and calm. Your surroundings have a direct impact on your mental and emotional state, so make sure they align with the peace you want to cultivate. Lastly, guarding your peace means recognizing the power of your time. Time is a limited resource, and you don't want to waste it on things that drain you. Be intentional with how you spend your days. Protect your peace by making sure you're investing your time in activities and relationships that support your growth and happiness. Stop saying yes to things that deplete you and start saying yes to the things that fuel you. When you guard your peace, you guard your life. Peace is not a passive state. It's something you must actively protect. It's the foundation for everything else you do. And when you create a peaceful environment for yourself, you set the stage for success, happiness, and fulfillment. Guard it fiercely, because without it, everything else falls apart. And with it, you become unstoppable. There's a quiet power in silence that most people overlook. In a world that is constantly buzzing with noise, it's easy to think that strength comes from speaking up, from being loud, from making your voice heard. But real strength often comes from knowing when to be silent. Silence is not weakness. It's not about being passive or avoiding confrontation. No, silence is a sign of true strength because it takes control, discipline, and wisdom to hold your tongue when the world around you is demanding a reaction. Think about the times when you've been provoked, when someone has tried to get under your skin. The easy response is to fight back, to defend yourself, to speak your mind. But in doing so, you lose control. You let your emotions dictate your actions. Silence, on the other hand, is a sign of control. It shows that you are not ruled by your emotions or by external forces. You are confident enough to sit in the discomfort of a moment without feeling the need to react. In silence, there is room for reflection. When you don't rush to speak, you give yourself the space to think. You give yourself the opportunity to pause, to assess, and to choose your response carefully. This is where real strength comes from, in the ability to stop, think, and act with intention rather than reacting out of anger, frustration, or fear. The strongest people are not the ones who have to say something in every situation. They are the ones who know when silence is the best answer. They understand that not every comment needs a response, and not every challenge requires a confrontation. Silence also builds mental toughness. The world is full of distractions, of pressures to conform, to speak, to react. But those who are truly strong are the ones who can block out the noise. They can sit in silence, knowing that their peace and their focus are more important than what's going on around them. In those moments of silence, you build the inner strength to endure, to stay true to your path, and to rise above the chaos that others are caught in. There's also a physical component to the strength that comes from silence. Constant talking, constant arguing, constant defending, it all drains your energy. But when you choose silence, you conserve that energy. You preserve your mental clarity, your emotional balance, and your physical strength. You don't give your power away to petty arguments or unnecessary conversations. Instead, you keep your focus on what matters, and you direct your energy toward the things that will move you forward in life. Silence helps you cultivate a sense of presence. When you are silent, you're fully aware of the situation around you. You can observe, listen, and absorb what's happening without the distractions of your own voice. This allows you to learn, to grow, and to understand things from a deeper level. Silence doesn't just keep you from saying the wrong thing, it gives you the ability to see things clearly and make decisions based on that clarity, not on emotional impulses. As you practice the power of silence, you'll start to notice something incredible. People will begin to respect you more. They'll recognize your ability to stay composed, to think before you speak, and to handle situations with grace and wisdom. In a world full of noise, the one who knows when to stay silent becomes a powerful presence. They become someone who commands respect without ever needing to raise their voice. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it is the presence of strength. It's a conscious choice, a deliberate act of control, and it's what separates the strong from the weak. The next time you're faced with a challenge, a provocation, or a moment of tension, remember that silence is not something to avoid. It's something to embrace. It's your greatest ally in building the strength that will carry you through life's toughest moments. In life, there's a temptation to talk about your plans, to share your dreams, to tell the world what you're going to do. But the truth is, words alone don't mean anything unless they are backed by action. Talk is cheap. What really matters is what you do. Your actions are the loudest statement you can make. They tell the world who you are, what you believe, and what you're capable of, without you having to say a single word. Too many people waste their time talking about what they want to achieve, but they never take the steps necessary to make those goals a reality. They're all talk and no action. And the sad truth is that the world doesn't care about your intentions, it cares about results. No one remembers what you said, but they will remember what you did. Your actions create a lasting impact. They show the world your true character, your work ethic, and your commitment. The beauty of letting your actions speak for you is that it eliminates the need for excuses or justifications. When you show up and do the work, there's no need to explain yourself or defend your choices. The results speak for themselves. People will notice your consistency, your discipline, and your ability to follow through on your promises. They'll see that you're a person of integrity, someone who doesn't just talk about success, but actually pursues it relentlessly. It's easy to make empty promises or give advice to others, but real leadership is about demonstrating through action. If you want to inspire others, lead by example. If you want to build trust, let your actions earn it. When you let your actions speak for you, you're showing the world that you don't need to seek validation. You don't need approval. You're focused on doing the work, and that is where true power lies. There's also the benefit of accountability. When your actions are the proof of your intentions, you hold yourself accountable. You don't rely on others to judge you or validate your efforts. You know that your success is the result of your own hard work and dedication. Every decision, every effort you make is a step toward the future you want to create. Actions take you beyond words, they turn your vision into reality.